Hello, and welcome to a special edition of CoreCast. My name's John Radwan, and I direct the Institute for Communication and Religion here at Seton Hall University. We're an affiliate unit within the College of Human Development, Culture, and Media, and we are the proud producers of this CoreCast series. Anyone interested in finding out about how big questions and great books can inspire dialogue and transformation, please check out our channel at Institute for Communication and Religion.podbean.com. Today I'm joined by Dr. Pradeep Deshpande, an expert on meditation, and Dr. A.D. Amar of the Stillman School of Business here at Seton Hall. Our subject is meditation and the Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is an ancient Hindu scriptural song that all Seton Hall students read in Core 1101, and meditation is a spiritual practice that it recommends. I'm now happy to turn to our guests. I'll ask for a brief introduction of your name, institutional affiliations, and areas of expertise, and then we'll turn to questions about how contemplative practice performs spirituality. Dr. Deshpande, thank you so much for traveling to be here. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Pradeep Deshpande. I'm a professor emeritus of chemical engineering at the University of Louisville, where I have taught for 33 years. I retired in 2008 or so, continuing with my practice of consulting.
Thank you so much. Dr. Amar and I have worked together for many years. His research on the Bhagavad Gita and management has helped me very much, so I'm very grateful he can join us today. Amar, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. Well, my name is Amar Dev Amar, and I'm better known as A.D. Amar, and I am professor of management here at the Stillman School of Business, but my expertise is more in the technical areas. With bachelor's and master's in engineering, I was somehow persuaded to go to business school and do MBA and PhD in operations management. And since then, I have been here at Seton Hall, and I am professor of management. And it's a pleasure to be here and pleasure to be teaching our students at Seton Hall University.
Thank you so much, Amar. I want to bring us into our questions now. As I said, our theme is meditation and the Bhagavad Gita. So let's start it with the practice level. Dr. Deshpande, can you tell us exactly what is meditation?
Okay. Meditation is the concept of achieving thoughtlessness. And if and when we achieve such a state, then all kinds of good things can happen. Our performance can improve, our health can improve, we may make discoveries, whether they are of the type of what Gita or what Vedic knowledge would call Shruti, meaning revealed, or we have connected the dots in maybe ingenious ways within the realm of existing knowledge.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Amar, would you have anything to add to that same question? What is meditation?
Meditation is somehow disconnecting the world around you that distracts you and takes away your attention, and to go inwards and focus on you, because at the end of the day, at the end of everything, it is the mind that we are trying to somehow manage and control. And mental power is the most important thing, and that is what all of us, through our learning of literature and learning of practices, is to somehow develop our mind. So basically what meditation does, it focus, concentration, contemplation, which are what we want to know. And then, although meditation really properly done requires a certain posture, physical position, and how the environment is around you, but that may be more for people who are learning, or who are at early stage of knowing meditation. Those who have moved to higher levels of meditation, they can meditate anywhere in any form and they will get the same result that others will get when they have the proper environment. And meditation may also include some mantra. It doesn't have to be, but a mantra will help you focus and will take away your mind that is disturbed or that is being distracted, to somehow through the mantra return to inwards and then focus on that. Typically we believe any mantra you pick may work, but best is to really talk to someone who is an expert, who can assess you and then can say for you, your personality, your mind, your profession, your job, your environment, and what really life is for you, because remember, life for each of us is very different. Then they will find for you a mantra, and then you will learn how to recite that mantra, and that will help you to achieve a higher status of meditation. I mean, I can go on, but I am going to stop here and then maybe reconnect when other questions come up.
Yes, please do. When Dr. Deshpande says thoughtlessness, it doesn't sound hard. But then when you really think about it, I found it pretty hard. In general, it's easy to be distracted and it's easy to lose focus. There are so many things going on around us, and then also within. There are many emotions and thoughts that can get us out of focusing on what we really want to pay attention to. And so I appreciated what Dr. Amar was saying is, yes, it's about clearing the mind and thoughtlessness, but it's a discipline, right? It's headed toward a disciplined mind where you can direct it where you want to, rather than where your emotions might want to go or where external distractions are going. So that brings me to my next question. Meditation is such a short word for such a big concept and practice. So Dr. Deshpande, does the English word meditation really fit, or are there other words that we need to know to go with meditation to help us understand the concept?
Yeah, the Sanskrit word for meditation is sadhana. It literally means to steady ourselves, and it is part of a eightfold yoga path. And the Sanskrit names are Yama, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Samadhi. So loosely speaking, we are talking about do's and don'ts to begin with, then physical exercises, then pranic exercises which are achieved through breathing exercises, and then three forms of meditation, meaning concentration, contemplation, concentration, single pointed attention, and then meditation.
Focus, that is.
Yes.
Single point attention, English, focus.
Very good. So a simple word, but with several associated practices, but all coming back to that kind of steadying theme that you started with, right?
That's
For the steadying themes, I like water metaphors, right? So we discussed this a little bit yesterday, that the boat isn't steady if the water is rocked by the wind and other forces, and the steady mind is a goal of meditation, to have an even keel and a steady mind with single-pointed focus.
Okay, going by the simile of the rocking boat, when boats rock, and boats will rock, we should know and be prepared for that. Then we have to see, do we have the sails, and can we bring up the sails so that the rocking stops, or do we have weights, that weights we can drop along the sides to give stability to the boat and avoid rocking. That's what life is, and we have to make sure our rocking life does not really take away from us our goals, our subject, our work we are doing, our concentration we are doing, and that is really what meditation does. Somehow makes you disconnect with those things and leave the rocking rags and the any kind of disturbances out and focus, because mind by definition, as Bhagavad Gita says, is that does not remain stable and it is constantly being distracted. But what we have to do, we have to learn how to control mind, and the control of mind is not easy, but through constant practice mind indeed can be controlled.
That's a wonderful explanation, and it leads well into my next question because you referenced the Gita. So as I mentioned before, all Seton Hall students read the Bhagavad Gita in Core 1101. And so I'm asking first you, Dr. Deshpande, what is the Bhagavad Gita and what does it say about meditation?
Okay. I should give some interesting background. I believe your listeners or viewers might find it interesting. If I have to believe ChatGPT and Google, Seton Hall is the only university in the world which requires Bhagavad Gita along with Bible and the Quran, Bhagavad Gita as mandatory studying at the freshman level. And I don't know of any institution in India that has yet managed to do that. Now, the reasons are many, but the Gita, strange as it may sound, the Bhagavad Gita, song divine, it happens in the midst of a war, a huge war. It's called Mahabharata. So there are enemies across, and then there is Krishna and Arjuna on one side, along with their army. And the Arjuna says to Krishna that, look, I'm seeing all my relatives across, my gurus, my elders. How do I harm them? So he's despondent. He just refuses to fight. But in a different language, these enemies that we are talking about here are the negative emotions: anger, hatred, hostility, resentment, frustration, jealousy, fear, guilt, sorrow, and all that. So Krishna convinces Arjuna to carry on with the fight over 18 chapters. Now here's a trick, if you will. One of your colleagues, John, presented me with the copy of the book Journey of Transformation this morning. I'm grateful for that. But in mathematics, there is something called a necessary and sufficient condition. So what you all have achieved, as admirable as it is you have achieved the necessary condition. So I'm urging you all, through your audience and your senior management, to go for the sufficiency condition. So what I mean by that is this: the cultivation of positive emotions at the exclusion of negative emotions is not an intellectual exercise. Although the intellectual inquiry that you are carrying forward in your Journey of Transformation core course is indispensable, but it is necessary but not sufficient. The sufficiency condition will be reached when you achieve the required positive changes, bring about the required positive changes from within. And there are a couple of ways to make that happen. One is, if you happen to have the feelings of Shraddha, Bhakti, Vishwas and Samarpan, meaning faith, devotion, trust and surrender. If you happen to have been endowed with these feelings naturally, then prayer is the route to go. If these feelings do not come naturally to you, and they don't to me. They did to my mother, but they don't to me. Then yogic practices such as meditation is the way to go. Now, I should add that there are three factors that determine how we are today, any of us. The first is the hereditary traits that we have inherited from our ancestors. The second is how we have lived our lives to the present age. And the third is environmental factors, like somebody is living near a coal mine or something like that, And these factors, as you know, are all different for different individuals. So consequently, not every meditation practice is equally suited for all human beings. Yesterday, when we were in a session, we were able to measure the pranic energy, the stress levels, and the chakra alignments of the participants in the program. So while experience is the best guide, it is nice to have a measurement indicative of your progress, so that the confidence of the aspirant in the practices goes up, providing him or her with an impetus to continue with the practices diligently and regularly. So my plea to Seton Hall is, you've done a precious job of introducing the Gita, but somehow find a way that these kids, students, also engage in the meditative practices on a regular basis. And that's the route to even national transformation, global transformation. That is how the US-India strategic partnership will flourish, and so on and so forth.
That's a wonderful description. As somebody who worked on the core class, Journey of Transformation, I'm really proud that you recognize that it's a special thing, that we don't just read one scripture here, we read multiple scriptures from multiple traditions.
Sure.
And then, of course, you're right, shouldn't rest at the intellectual level of understanding, it should come into practice. And so one of the ways we try to do that is with our Contemplative Community Week, and you're our special guest for Contemplative Community Week, so we certainly have ways to go, but we're working on it. Dr. Amar, would you like to add to this
I'll
one?
pick up on that, and to some extent, same question, and to some extent, some modifications to that. Seton Hall University spent so much money and time and intellect and brain of something like committee that was consisting of 50 people in the 90s, and we have been trying to find out how to increase students' understanding of religion. And obviously our board wanted Bible to be taught at a Catholic university, and if we don't do that, then we are not doing proper training. And I was really not part of that, because I basically stayed away from these kind of issues. When I found out what were they up to, I said, I would like to be on this committee. And because of the way I am dealing with my colleagues at Seton Hall, they invited me and they said, yes, join. And I have been on that committee since then until as of now. And we were...
Does the committee still exist?
In the form we call the core curriculum committee.
Okay.
So it's went through various refinements and
Okay.
various changes. But obviously we can't have 50 people on it. But right now at this time, we have something like 7, 8 people who are on it. And I have been part of that since then. And I'm still, and I am one of the co-chairs of the committee and have been that way. Now, my concern was, because humans have survived for many millennia, how could we give training to students for the last 2,000 years and say, that's it? So that logic really clicked. And I said, we have to go in the past, as far past as we can, and then come to the present, and students have whatever they want to do, they will have a complete knowledge. Catholicism will be core, but not exclusively. We will, and on that line we agreed, and that became our mantra in deciding what do we want to do with it. And then we came up with, we said, let's look at all the religious books, and we came to a list of 30 books, and that, like you said, included Quran in there, and even Buddha's writing, and Vedas, and all those.
And you're correct that this is a long process, with, especially at the beginning, a lot of people involved, and so it's wonderful and miraculous that we came up with a class that's I really enjoy teaching.
Yeah.
I think students enjoy learning. I'm going to move us ahead to our next question.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Deshpande, is there a way to meditate wrongly that might cause harms?
It is meditation itself may not cause harm. However, meditation is typically preceded by breathing exercises which go by the name pranayam. They correctly so. Prana is the life force. It is the control of prana, control of life force is done through breathing, and some physical exercises. If you do the yoga, then they are yogic postures. So you could hurt yourself doing the yogic postures wrongly or incorrectly, or for that matter, some of the breathing exercises are pretty strenuous, or can be, and you may wind up hurting yourself doing the breathing exercise wrongly. But I doubt if there is a way to hurt yourself, physiologically or physically with meditation practices.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. I participated in your workshop yesterday, and so I do understand now that breathing sounds simple when you say it, but when you're getting into your diaphragm and your lungs and some of the forceful exhalations we were doing, yes, it may be possible, but at the mental level, maybe probably not.
Yeah.
Dr. Amar, did you have some thoughts on potential harms?
I think you cannot harm by doing meditation, because there are so many ways people focus and concentrate and contemplate, so nothing. But you may not be able to get the full benefit, and you may not be able to get the intended benefit. That is where you may like to have a guru, and that guru will teach you what do you want, and based on that, it is like a bad simile, but it's like doctor who is going to diagnose your problem or issue, and then will say, here is the prognosis and here is the medication. So guru will do that for you, and you may be able to get full benefit, but no harm can come by meditating. The scriptures tell us that those people who were not even aware of what is the right way to meditate or to recite, even they benefited. It's like I could tell you that a dacoit, a very, very bad, cruel dacoit, wanted to transform his life. And he found a guru, and he said, how can I transform my life? He said, I don't know any language, I can't read anything, I never learned anything. He said, can you say Ram? Ram is Hindu god for name for God. He said, I can't even say the word Ram. He couldn't pronounce, his ability, never heard. He said, can you say Mara? Mara is the opposite of Ram in syllables. So Mara means dead. And he said, yeah, Mara, I can say because I've been doing. So he said, Mara, 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 and came to Ram. And he got all the benefits of meditation that one could.
That's a good example. It's spiritual leadership, right? It's someone to help. It's someone that spiritual challenges can be tough to face alone. And so having somebody to guide us, somebody who's experienced, somebody who has some wisdom to share is a wonderful gift to meet that person.
And that person, just to not leave it incomplete, sat down where he was in the forest and he started to meditate, whatever, Ram Ram, and then got the right posture. He became Valmiki Rishi and attained a very high position in Hinduism.
Yeah, very good. I'm headed toward our last question about fears. So, Dr. Deshpande, you did a good description of the setting of the Gita a little while ago. Arjuna is faced with a just war, but any war is scary. Any war is terrifying, especially a war where you actually know the people on the wrong side. And so Arjuna is thinking about fleeing. He's thinking about shirking his duty and running away. And so for me, it's an example of kind of all fears and all challenges, that the spiritually strong person of faith can face up to challenges, even very difficult ones, like fighting for justice. So for a small fear, many people are afraid of public speaking. And then for larger fears, cultural fears of the other prevent us from having good relationships with our neighbors and can even lead to violence. What kind of meditation can help us improve our communication, whether it's at the small level of facing our fear to use our freedom of speech, or the broader cultural level of facing injustices?
I was present in your public speaking class before we started here, and that was a fun class. There were 20 students in there, something like 20 students, and including the instructor, and Nancy was there too. And I explained to them the significance of bringing about the positive changes from within, and how prayer and meditation are the way to get there. And the meditative practices will address one of the attributes of negative emotions, fear, and actually put them through a meditation class of 21 minutes. And 19 out of 20, one of them had to go to the restroom, but 20 out of 21 people did remarkably well. And then the question came up, is this going to help them in public speaking? The answer is absolutely yes, because one of the major reasons why people are apprehensive about speaking in front of a live audience is fear. And the meditative practice will address that, in a very explicit way. And I told them at the end of the class, I said, measure your respiration rate, measure your heart rate, learn to do that, and do your self-assessment experiment. Measure your respiration rate and heart rate before, sit through your 21 minutes of meditation, and then measure it again. See if the heart rate has gone down and the respiration rate has gone down. And as it did yesterday, most of you benefited from the 3 of you that were there in the live session. That would be my response to this.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Amar, do you have thoughts on
Yeah,
fears?
Connecting with the meditation's benefit, Hindu scriptures tell life is not given in years. Life is given in breaths. How many breaths we have remaining, or how many breaths are there. By slowing down your breathing, you can increase the number of years you live for. So that is how some of these gurus, not 120, 125, they have even lived longer than that by simply stopping breathing, or they will breathe at their will and they'll stop. I'm not saying students should be doing that, but somehow find calmness and make sure excitement is reduced.
Yeah, very good. Calmness and single-minded focus
Yeah.
is a way to face not only personal fears, but also big cultural problems, right? That, especially in our media culture, there are a lot of distractions around, and sadly, sometimes distractions are deliberate tactics by bad actors to get us to not focus on issues. And single-minded focus, a calm, steady mind, and even keel can help us maintain focus on what's really important.
That's
The true, the good, the beautiful, the just.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Please.
This is a plea to the students. Learn to do before and after experiments. That's how you will know how much progress you are making or have made. So, for example, in the public speaking class, and the instructor herself, she could relate to what the theory that I talked about and the practice that they did. I forget the name of the instructor.
McManaman.
Yeah, that was a tongue twister.
Yeah.
For me. So anyway,
Dr. McManaman.
She has a. It's now. When did you start school? Something like August.
Yeah,
late
end of August. Yeah.
You're in semester system. Okay.
25th August.
Okay. So the instructor has a pretty good idea about the public speaking skills of the students. If they were to find, she said she's going to do this. She said she'll spend 5 or 10 minutes every class session. It would be beautiful to know by the end of the semester how much difference, if any, this has made. So I'd like to say one more thing. The concepts of Bhagavad Gita, in my language, is the framework for attaining internal excellence or emotional excellence. But that is the wisdom of India or ancient India.
Contribution of India.
Singular contribution of India.
Yeah.
But that's not enough. I've convinced my guru, who was a self-realized yogi, and 4 or 5 other yogis. You must add to that the science of external excellence, the Six Sigma philosophy. So when you combine the science of internal excellence and the practices of internal excellence, along with the practices of external excellence, that's the best of both worlds. There is nothing you can do that is better than that.
That's really important, that the internal level is great for you, but we're social. We live together. We need the external excellence as well, and build up the whole community, orient ourselves to the whole. In the Christian tradition, it would be something like no soul is saved solo. We're always together. We work with one another. Dr. Amar, did you want to close on some of that theme?
Yeah, I would say you should determine what you really want to do with your life, to extend your life, give it longevity, and give it, I will say, healthy person. And that is of benefit to people around you, to your family, to your country, to your community, and whatever. And that requires certain things which have to do both with how you live, what you eat, how you breathe, and I'm not going to really go and tell them what. If you want, I can. If they would like, I would. But I would say your health and your longevity has to do a lot with what you eat and how you live. And you know what is not good for you. Don't do that. Don't eat it. Don't drink it. And do what is good for you.
Yeah, wonderful. Mindfulness, right? Mindful eating, mindful meditation, mindful social communication. All of it comes back to that focus and that even keel.
Integral approach.
Thank you so much. All right, so on behalf of the Institute for Communication and Religion, my name is John Radwan. I'm so thankful for our guest.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Deshpande, thank you. Dr. Amar, thank you so much. Everyone, please tune into Corecast and our other series on Institute for Communication and Religion.podbean.com. Have a beautiful day.